And then today, I got something in the mail that really fucking pissed me off. I will read it to you. Dear Brianna, our records indicate that you have been on non-occupational medical leave of absence from work since on or about 6/26/16, which I'm pretty sure is incorrect because that's the day that I got my check. Around that day, at least. With no definite date of return. Since we have had no communication with you, we are requesting a written doctor's note as an update on your status and a return date if possible. Please contact your store director, name and number, or contact me at number with your medical update. Failure to provide a written doctor's update to this manager or to me within 48 hours following receipt of this letter will be construed as a voluntary quit on your part. What? And, even better, this was printed August 8th. What day is it today? I mean, as of right now, as I'm making this at 4:43 a.m., Tuesday of August 16th. It's been a week. I literally got this in the mail today, the 15th. Technically yesterday. A week later. And I was apparently supposed to call someone with a notice or go in with a doctor's note within 48 hours of that being supposedly gotten to me. So, in the paperwork that I filled out with my doctor to fax over to HR, I put in my new address because we had recently moved 5-6 months ago. So they had my new address, but for some reason they sent it to my old address. So it took about a week to get from that mail to the mail here, and basically I think I'm pretty much fucked. I am going into my work tomorrow. I'm going to talk to the manager as nicely as I possibly can because I am so fucking pissed. And I'm going to ask him what the fuck is going on and why are they saying that I haven't had any contact with them when they were the ones supposed to contact me, or at least contact my doctor, or contact the manager of the store. Someone was supposed to be contacted by them, and I may not have a job now, and I don't even know. I'm really irritated. And this letter is saying that since they have not been contacted, that they think I'm quitting. I am not. Even though I fucking hate this company so much and have been put through so much shit from this company, I still would work there until I find another job because I need money. My boyfriend has been helping pay my half of the rent. And I am supposed to pay for not only half of the rent, but also almost all of my mom's food, as well as my own food. Because Section 8 is not going to give my mom more money because I'm on leave. We did get food stamps today that were more than $16. Because they've been giving my mom $16 because I'm working. Even though I'm 21 and I do everything separate from her. I buy my own food separately. I cook my own food separately. I am barely even ever out of my room. Apparently I am supposed to be buying her food and my food as well on fucking minimum wage, as well as paying half of the rent, and I don't even pay any of the bills because I'm not making enough money to be able to. I'm not even making, when I was working, I should say, I am not even making enough money to be able to save up to move the fuck out of here. I am supposed to be paying for all this shit. And so, my wonderful, fucking wonderful boyfriend, who is also on minimum wage, has been paying my half of the rent and been paying for my food and some of my mom's food too. Before we got the food stamps this month, that was 200 something. So I love him, and this is just way too much. It's fucking bullshit. Hell, if you can help it, don't shop there. Like, I'm going to say some shit here. Their produce is horrible. Not the produce team where I work. The people over in produce are awesome. And they're good people. And the produce manager asked the manager if my boyfriend could be moved over to produce. The produce manager asked him, which that is rare. My boyfriend hates working as a courtesy clerk. But the fucking manager of the store said no. Because they need him to work 6 to midnight every day. Like, he's been there for 2 years, almost 3, and he's been asking multiple times to be moved, and the manager won't move him. Like, aren't you supposed to have an option if you want to move? But this fucking company moved a courtesy clerk that did not even do his job at all. He spent all of his shift every single fucking day roaming around the store, doing go-backs, taking half of his shift to do all of the go-backs, which he doesn't even do half of the go-backs. Or when he's out doing carts, he brings in 2 or 3 carts, even though he's been out there for a half hour. And we know there's the whole, a lot of carts are out there. He will not come up to help bag when called. He spends, if he's not roaming around the store doing absolutely nothing, or outside doing absolutely nothing, he's in the break room when it's not even his break, doing absolutely nothing. But this fucking bitch, he gets moved to produce. Even though me and my boyfriend have asked the manager multiple times if we could move. And we actually do our fucking job. Like, I may be in pain during my shift, but I do my job. Like I said earlier, I do things that's not even in my job description as a cashier. And hell, I'll even ask them if I can do these things. Because I want to have a good name. I want to be a good worker. A good worker, yes. So I like doing those things. I don't like being a cashier at all. I hate it. Maybe it's just a fucking store, because I hate this store. I will come back and tell you more about what happens when I go today to talk to my manager. I have no idea what's gonna happen, because according to this letter, as of the amount of time that it's been, I'm probably voluntary quit. I'm back. I have some not so bad news to continue this story. So, I went into work the next day and talked to my manager, and it turns out that I'm just a little stupid, and I thought that since my paperwork had my new address, that meant that that's the address that they would use. But no, apparently that wasn't what I thought. So it turns out that HR, they have a place that you can go to set up your information that is like, when you start working there, they have it set up already for you and everything, so you don't have to worry about changing it yourself at that point. But I was never told this, but they have where you have to update it yourself if you move, which, like I said, I was never told that that's how it worked. So apparently they were using the address that was set into their system and not the address that's on the paperwork, which I still don't understand why they would do that. So that is why I was not getting any of the papers that they sent to me, because it was all sent to my address before I had moved. So, which I find weird though, still, I end up getting things in the mail here at this new address from my work. How does that work out then? I really don't understand. So when I went in, he had called the lady that was at HR and talked to her and had set it up so that I would be able to have more time, and it wasn't like I had actually quit because I didn't know anything. I had to just update my doctor's note and have it faxed over or sent over, bring it into my work, something that my status is good for me to come back to work. And so I didn't know exactly what I needed. My manager didn't know exactly what I needed. So I went home, and because that day was already pretty much gone, so the next day I personally called the person that was at HR that my manager had talked to, so that I can get the information that I need from her to tell my doctor to let them know that I am good to go to work, because they told me that it is unlikely that with how my paperwork is at now, it won't work. Like, he said that it makes it very difficult if I have to take a break for 5 minutes every hour. That makes everyone's job a little bit harder for those 5 minutes, because they have to find someone to give me that break. And because also you are only allowed a certain amount of time on your breaks, so they cannot do that. And so I had come to the conclusion that there is nothing that can be done. And so pretty much these past 2 months have just been a huge waste of time, when there's nothing that could have been done. And like, it was just a waste of time. And waste of money too, because I could have been making money and being able to support myself to the best of my ability, at least, instead of having my boyfriend pay for everything, which I hate doing. I like being independent and being able to make my own money. And I absolutely hated these past 2 months not being able to make money. And so there's nothing that can be done, really. The best thing that I can do is on my own time to get some exercise, and like, if it's a really slow time in the day, I can use that time to walk around my check stand, and that's pretty much the best that I have come up with that can be done, is just use my time wisely. And so while I was talking to her, she told me that I need my doctor to write a note stating that I am capable of coming back to work, and whatever limitations, there's anything that can be done, to put that in the paperwork, in the note from my doctor. And so another idea that I came up with was to make sure that in the note it states that I need to start at part-time for 3 to 4 weeks, because for me, not having worked for 2 months and go straight into working again, and if I have to work 8 hours or even 6 hours for like every day, that is going to kill me. And so I need to slowly get myself back used to it. But then I call my doctor's office to make the earliest appointment that I can. And the earliest appointment that I can make is for September 2nd or 4th. And so that's another weeks that go by without me working, without me making money. But at least on the good side of that, is that I won't be working when the 9th rolls around, which is the day that we get our food stamps. So, at least we will get another month of 200 and something food stamps. But I'm just really hating it because each week my boyfriend has to pay my mom my half of the rent, which is usually $40 each week, and then on top of that, like $10-20 for food. So I just absolutely hate having to have him do that. I like being independent. I like being able to make my own money and buy my own food and buy whatever I want, instead of him wasting his money on me when he has car insurance to pay and this and that. And so I just absolutely hate it. I wish that I could do something for him in return, but I'm broke poor. And broke poor, dirt poor, whatever the saying is. I hate this. I don't know what else to say. I think that's everything so far.